Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So already in our previous video we started discussion on pre-signed URL and we have seen that is suppose one particular user is not having S3 bucket access, then temporarily for a particular amount of time we can basically share a particular URL to that user using which he or she can read the content of an S3 bucket, okay, or maybe they can download, right? So that is kind of temporary access we are providing. So earlier what we have discussed, that is nothing but how to allow to read or download the existing file to a user who is not having access, right? Now we are going to discuss how we can upload content using pre-signed URL. Okay, that is there is an user who is not having S3 bucket access, and then temporarily you want to share one particular URL to that particular user using which that user can upload some content in a S3 bucket. Okay, how to do that? That's what I am going to cover. Okay, so to understand this particular concept, whatever I am going to cover in this particular video, you should have a clear idea about the fundamentals of pre-signed URL and some more concepts like how to integrate API gateway with Lambda, how to read the query parameters from API gateway to Lambda, all these stuffs. Okay, so I will share some prerequisite video URL in the description box. I will request you to go through those videos first. That will surely help you to understand today's content. Okay, so today in this video we are going to see how one user can use pre-signed URL to upload a content in S3 bucket. Okay, so the architecture looks like this. Here suppose we are having mobile user, millions of users are there. Okay, all they need to do, they need to basically call one API first, which API we will be creating with API gateway. Okay, and this request they will be doing to get the pre-signed URL from the API gateway. Okay, using which the user can upload the actual content. Okay, so first the mobile user will hit an API. That API will return the user the pre-signed URL which the user can use to upload the content. Okay, so first the above arrow from user to API gateway, it is going here, it is indicating that the user is requesting to API gateway for the pre-signed URL. Okay, then API gateway is hitting Lambda. API gateway is sending that particular information from the user to Lambda. Okay, here the user need to pass what is the file name, what the user want to upload. That's it. Okay, and Lambda will take that, and we are having a particular destination S3 bucket. Maybe the bucket name also you can take from user if required. So what Lambda will do, Lambda will generate the pre-signed URL. Lambda will request the S3 for the pre-signed URL, and from S3 it will be taking the pre-signed URL and it will return to API gateway, and API gateway will return to user that particular pre-signed URL. Okay, and that user who is actually not having S3 access, using that pre-signed URL, the user can upload binary data, that can be image, that can be text file, that can be PDF file, whatever, in that S3 bucket. Okay, that's the simple architecture, right? I hope you easily understand this one. So without any further delay, let's directly jump into the implementation section, and then when we will see the demo, we will be getting a more clear idea on this architecture. Okay, so as a first step, what we are going to do, we are going to create our Lambda function. So our Lambda function is very simple. So import JSON. JSON, we are importing JSON.dumps, JSON.loads we often use, and importing Boto3 because Boto3 is required to create the client for S3. So basically from S3 we are going to fetch the pre-signed URL, right? For that purpose we need to create the S3 client using Boto3, so that's why we are importing, and we are importing the exception from Botocode and logging for logging purpose. Okay, and then here we created a function which is having the name create pre-signed URL or create pre-signed post. It will basically generate the pre-signed URL. Okay, it will return that. It will take bucket name, object name, and expiry time as input when the URL will expire. So as I have already told you, right, that the pre-signed URL is valid only for certain period of time. So for 3600 seconds, we want to keep that valid. Suppose that is the condition. So that we can pass here. Object name is basically the file name what the user want to upload, and the bucket name is basically that particular S3 bucket where user want to put the data. Okay, and the main code is this one, S3 client. So S3 client is nothing but we are creating using Boto3 dot generate pre-signed post. So it will generate the pre-signed URL and it will return this particular response. Okay, here we are returning the response. So what the response will contain? It will be basically having a dictionary with the following keys. Number 1 will be URL and number 2 will be some fields which will be coming as dictionary, and these fields we have to use when the user will use that particular pre-signed URL to upload the content. So to put all those fields also we have to use. Okay, so this comes our pre-signed URL generator, and our main Lambda function is very simple. We are taking the file name what the user want to upload from the query parameter from our API. So how to take that query parameter from API already I have discussed. I will be sharing the link in the description box. You can explore if you want to. So here I am printing that object name or the file name what the user want to upload, and then here we are calling our pre-signed post function. Here we need to pass the bucket name first, and we are printing the response. We are returning the same response. Okay, right? So all I will do, I will copy this complete piece of code, and here I will go to AWS Management Console. I'll be going to Lambda, and I will be quickly creating a Lambda which will generate the pre-signed URL from the S3 bucket. Okay, so here I will go to create function, and here pre-signed URL generator, some name I am giving, Python 3.9 I am choosing, which is perfect, and here I will create the function. Okay, I hope up to this it is very clear. And now here what I will do, I will delete this one and I will paste this code. So here we need to put the bucket name where user want to put the file. So maybe we want to give temporary access using pre-signed URL to this particular bucket. Okay, so you can create your own bucket. So that's pretty much it, and I'll be posting the code in the description box or in the comment section so that you can also use the code. Okay, so once this is done, what we have to do, we have to give S3 access to this Lambda permission. Okay, so here I'll be going to configure, and I'll be going to permission, and I'll be adding S3 access. Then only it will able to create the URL and access the S3, right? So I will attach the policy, and I will search for S3. And as of now, I'm giving S3 full access. If you want, you can fine tune the access, right? So that's pretty much it. Here our Lambda is created. Now we'll create an API gateway. So I'll be opening the AWS Management Console in a new tab, and I'll be going to API gateway. And here what I will do, I'll basically create an API. For the experiment purpose, I'm using HTTP API. I'll add the integration, and our Lambda function is nothing but pre-signed URL generator, whatever we created. API name get sign URL. Okay, so this API the user will hit first to get the pre-signed URL, right? So here I want to use post method. Why? Because the user is requesting the pre-signed URL, right, which the user can use to upload the content. Okay, now while making this request, the user need to pass what file he or she want to upload. So when we pass some data from user to API, then generally we use post method, right? So I am using post method here. Okay, that's right. And I will go to next, and I will create the API. Okay, so here our API is created, and I'll be taking this particular API URL. This is our base URL. I'll be giving slash, and then here I'll go to routes, and this is our resource path. Okay, so this makes our complete API URL, right? So that's pretty much it from API side. If I go back to Lambda, maybe I will refresh this particular page, and we will see that API integration is added as triggered. Okay, see, API gateway is added as triggered. Okay, so now once the user hit that particular API with the file name whatever he or she want to upload, the API gateway will hit this Lambda. This Lambda will generate the pre-signed URL to upload, and then it will send back to user as a response, and that response the user can use to upload the actual content. Okay, so from the user aspect, now how the code look like, let me explain. Okay, so that is one time setup we have completed. So API gateway, Lambda, and S3 integration we have done. Now this user will just hit the API with the file name what he or she want to upload. This API will return that pre-signed URL, and that pre-signed URL the user will use to upload the content in S3. That let me show you. Okay, so suppose the user is a mobile device user or maybe web app where in backend this code is running. So what we are doing first, we are installing request, because request is required to make any request. Okay, so here we are importing request and JSON. Now here file name and complete file path. So what should be the file name what the user want to upload, and what is the complete file path? from where it will read the content and it will upload. Okay, API base URL. So maybe here I can put the base URL first. This is our base URL and then file name. Okay, so maybe what I will do, I will upload some content from desktop. Okay, so maybe first let me upload one PNG file, and it is uploaded. Okay, so suppose this is the user and he or she want to upload this particular file to S3, but as of now the user don't have access. Okay, so what the user will do, the user will first enter the file name and complete file path. Okay, so file name, I will be deleting this one. So this is the file name what the user want to upload, and this is the complete file path. Okay, both we have entered, and then API base URL we are passing. So here see actual API URL where the user will make a request, that should look like this. Okay, what we are doing here, we are putting the API base URL and then we are passing a query string, which is basically we are passing the file name. Whatever file name we will be putting here, that related to that file name only, actually the pre-signed URL will be generated. Okay, so what the user will do, he or she will just make a post request, basically this particular request. Okay, user is requesting to get the pre-signed URL. Okay, so here user will make a request and here it will take some time. Is done. Maybe I can do response.text. So see here the user got the URL, okay, and some fields also he or she has got. So both of these has to be used when he or she want to upload the actual content. Okay, so using this URL the user got temporary access to upload the content in S3, right? So first I will load the data in JSON, because you can see this is a string data. And now what I am doing, I am opening the file what we want to upload. So the complete file path whatever we have kept here, right, that is content/capture.png, that one we are reading here, and then we are making a post method call. Okay, we are calling using post method. First we are passing the URL from this particular response. Okay, the response is stored in response result, right? So URL is basically this particular URL, and along with that we are passing some extra data, whatever fields is required to send for validating the temporary access for that user. Okay, and whatever file we want to upload, that we are putting there, and then we are printing the status code. If status code is coming as 204, that means it is correct. Okay, so currently we are getting 204, that means the file is uploaded. So if I go to our S3, if I refresh this particular page, here see capture.png came, and if I download this particular content, we will see the content. Okay, so what we did using this pre-signed URL, basically we have given the user temporary access to upload files. Okay, I can upload any file, like just for example I can upload one text file now. Okay, so maybe I can upload 3.4 dot text. Okay, so I will just copy this particular path, and here I'll be putting the file name, and then here I'll be putting the complete path, and then here I'll be running the API key, API URL, response.text, and then json.loads, and then I will run this one. Okay, so now what will happen, the 3.44.txt whatever we have kept here, that will be going to our S3 bucket. Okay, see here we got that. Okay, I can download and then I can show you that same. Okay, so the thing is here, using this kind of pre-signed URL, we have seen how we can give temporary access to a user who is not having read access, how we can give read access using temporary URL. Similarly, we have seen how we can give access to upload the content using this kind of approach. Okay, and this pipeline is completely serverless. That is its beauty. It can scale up by a huge amount, right? Just we are using this particular Lambda to return the signed URL, and then the user is using the signed URL to upload the content. So for scaling up also, this particular pipeline has no problem, right? So I hope you understood this particular pipeline. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you.